So in this video, I'm going to share on how to use AI in your tuition center. So personally, for me, I had an education business before, and it took me hours to create, questions. And I believe some of you might relate, and some of you actually hire to actually create questions or the curriculum or even the content. But after using AI, it helped me to create so many questions in a matter of minutes. And I'm going to share with you on how. So what you'll be learning is generally what is AI and how to use AI to actually create exercises, homework questions faster, right? Okay, so what is AI? Essentially, I think most of you know what is AI. AI means artificial intelligence, but it's still a very broad spectrum, right? So the thing that is now popular with ChatGPT and everything else is that there's this thing called generative AI. So generative AI is basically an AI that create new things mainly from text, right? There is also images and videos as well, but right now, most of the time is text from examples and also past data. So the data that we're talking about is the whole World Wide Web, right? The whole past data. So essentially, this is roughly how you use your ChatGPT or AI, right? So essentially, you write a prompt. A prompt is essentially just an instruction. And the instruction over here is create a question on fractions. Yes, apologies on my English. So you put it into AI, and AI will output exactly what you want, which is a question on fraction. How many three-quarter pieces can be cut from a loaf of bread weighing 6 kg, right? So normally I call this shit in, shit out, good in, good out, right? So normally what you do is you add in a prompt. And you might think the prompt that you added was pretty good, but to be honest, it's not that good, which I will later on will demonstrate for you. So with this, the prompt, you put in shit, the output will be shit. Generally, that's how you do it. So I'm going to share with you on how to create better prompts, star quality prompts. Okay, I don't know if it's star quality, but this will then allow you to output star quality kind of prompts, more personalized and better for students to get engaged with your questions that you have. All right, so I'm going to share with you on how to use AI to create exercises, homework questions faster, and also more personalized. Okay, so this is how you do it. Essentially, how to create star quality or say good prompts is three things: a good example, and instructions and notes for you to make it a bit more personalized. So I'm going to go and demonstrate on how it looks like. So for example, let me share with you on a prompt that you might have actually have done, and you might be thinking, okay, ChatGPT is not for me. You might be saying, okay, create a question on fractions. And then it will actually show you a fraction question that you don't really like. Okay. Because number one, you didn't give a good example. It is not a good example. So that's why it's not a good example. And you might be thinking, where are the answers? And then sometimes you also want to make it more personalized. So I'm going to share with you a good example that I have. So let's go to over here. Okay. So in this example, I have the structured way on doing it. So the first one, as you can see over here, is the good example. Okay. So the good example is can be a very simple question as well. How many two-third pieces can be cut from a cake of weight 4 kg? And the answer is 6. Pretty hard question, right? So what is this 3 dash? So for ChatGPT, what I've researched and have used every single day is that ChatGPT understands that this is just a separation. So this is one information, this is another information. So this information basically is a good example of a fraction question. So ChatGPT understands that a fraction question not only gives you a question, it also requires you to give an answer. So that means whenever you were to ask for more questions later on, it will actually give you the answer. Then after that, the next thing is you want to give the instructions. Can you create another question similar to this? Because you like the structure of this question, right? And then lastly, create a question that is related to soccer. So these are the notes, personalization to make it more relatable to the students. And now if I were to click on send, it will actually generate questions that is similar to this and also related to soccer. So for example, in this case, if a soccer field has 120 meters, a coach wants to mark a section that's 2/5 of the training drill, how many meters, right? So sometimes you like it, right? So personally for me, I like this doing just one question is because you always want to test out whether this question is a good one. If you don't really like it, then what you can do is you can say, or you can have generate another one if you want, right? So these are some things that you can do. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just generate again and send again, right? and then it will generate another question. So it actually helps you. Okay, soccer team. Okay, this way better, right? 15 balls, one fifth for practice, 75 players. A lot more better. So what I'll do is that suggest 10 more questions, right? So let me just move my head over here. Right, so let's see how it looks like when once I say suggest 10 more questions, and it will actually suggest 10 more questions. Literally seconds, you've generated 10 more questions. All right. So sometimes it's also didn't put in the answer as well. So previously it actually gives you the answers as what you see over here. Right. So sometimes it doesn't give. So what you need to do is give the answer as well, right? And then it will give the answer as well, right? So over here, it gives all the answer as well. You see over here. So that's something that you might want to play around with. And now the thing is that sometimes this is a bit generic. You can make it even more personalized. So what you can say is use uh, football, sorry, soccer celebrities, and what do you call these and teams as well, right? Like Manchester United, right? Don't know whether they are still pretty good. I believe they are. And then you can just do it again. So use soccer celebrities and teams like Manchester United. Now you see Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United, Lionel Messi, right? And then is there anything? Manchester City, David Beckham, Premier League. So now it becomes more real, and students tend to be more engaged with real life examples of what they can relate to, right? Maybe some boys like soccer and now they read this, they're like, I wanna it's like they will be like in a way happy, but at the same time kind of not happy because they have to do this. But the more engaged a student is, then the more they want to answer. The more they answer, the more they practice. The more they practice, the more they get better at it. And that's why I love using AI to actually create questions for students, because it gets very relatable and more engaging as well. So always remember that number one is you have your good example over here. Number two is that you have the instruction. And number three is to always have notes to personalize as well. Make sure you have a good example that you like. And it's okay if it's not what you expect. You can just always personalize or try to always improve on your prompts. So don't always think that this prompt will always work well. You need to always keep on improving and improving and improving, right? And most of the time your prompts will get bigger and bigger, and that's very normal. The more instructions that you put in the prompts, the better the chat gpt can guess or generate for you better questions and more personalized questions. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of this kind of videos, subscribe down below and comment down on what are things that you want me to create using AI for your tutoring, enrichment, or education business. With that say, see you and bye bye.